Izan ginalako garela dino Euskal esamolde zarrak. Zer izan ginen, noiz izan ginen, ez dakigu. Ez dakigu gure hizkuntza nondik datorren. Beste hainbat hizkuntzarekin nahastu da. 25.000 urte eta itsaso hau zeharkatu izan dutena guze zarrek. Gure hizkuntza gaur duguna. Gure hizkuntza hau da gure aberria, azken batean.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
The Basque Country is an autonomous region, a place, a culture, where the Basque language is spoken. Strictly speaking, it's an area straddling Spain and France at the western end of the Pyrenees. They've been speaking Basque here long before the first Roman arrived in 65 BC. It is a very old language. How old, like the question of how far back their history goes and where it begins, is not known. The best answer anyone can give you is long, long ago. What did this coastline look like back in the 17th century?
So different, right?
So different.
There's more landscape now. The sea went farther into the land.
Maybe some houses like 3 or 4 there, but the other one wasn't there. The church there wasn't there. That was a small church, maybe. In that mountain, houses watching to the sea was impossible.
All the traditional houses were pointed inland.
Yeah. Before the Industrial Revolution, with no heating systems at home,
Right, the wind would come in.
You couldn't
and
afford watching into the sea because the wind and the humidity make it impossible to maintain that kind of living. So every house that has windows to the sea, it means it's not so old.
Edorta Jimenez and his daughter Irati are both acclaimed authors and proud Basque, and they know as much about their history as can be known. Sea barnacles, or percebes, are much loved here. Steamed briefly with a little salt. Simple, like much of Basque cooking.
Vale.
It's delicious. It's very, very good. I love these.
And thank you for coming.
How long do you think the Basque people lived in this community? Or does anybody know?
25,000 years.
25,000.
Yeah, we are living here.
So you're talking like Cro-Magnon,
Yes.
all the way back.
All the way back.
And the language? From here?
Really don't know. It is the only language in Europe that we know of that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the languages, that doesn't come from the same place.
And the Basque genetic signature is also seemingly unique. I mean, nobody's finding any relatives in anywhere.
They did this research with people's DNA from this area.
Yeah.
And the conclusion was it's the same people that was living here 25,000 years ago.
So do you believe that? The Basque have always been here, that the language has been influenced by nobody else?
And the mystery, Anthony, is that we are in the way.
Yeah.
In the Iberian Peninsula, you have two natural ways, two natural paths. One is in the Mediterranean side and the other one is in the Atlantic side. And we are in the way from the north to the south.
Well, good.
Across this country.
Good negotiators. Good fighters, good negotiators.
Good know.
You could make the argument that there is no better place to eat in Europe than the city of San Sebastián. There are more Michelin-starred restaurants per capita here than anywhere on Earth. But even the everyday joints are superb. The love of food, the insistence on the very best ingredients is fundamental to the culture and to life here. And it's beautiful. Did I say that? It's a beautiful city.
Es indudable también que yo soy vasco. Y entonces aquí hay una especie de atmósfera gastronómica. Nosotros somos profetas en nuestra tierra. Y además la gente te habla de cocina, vayas a donde vayas. Todo lo solucionamos cocinando. Porque tenemos una especie de fanatismo hacia la cocina. Bueno, no sé. Yo creo que también es otra de las cosas por las cuales yo lo llevo tan adentro, tan en el corazón, ¿no? O en el alma. Pero sí es indudable que el ser vasco para mí es muy importante.
You know exactly where to go, no?
If I'm lost, I'm only lost for 2 minutes. I always find my way.
You find it.
Oh, here he is.
¿Qué tal?
Juan-Marie Arzak has been, since I first met him, and his amazing and accomplished daughter Elena, my mentor and friend, steadfast and loyal in every way a person can be. Father and daughter are two of the greatest chefs in the world.
Bueno.
¿Qué tal? Bien. You are happy.
Very. Très content. Yes. I love it here. Osasuna?
Osasuna.
These are what you call pinchos around here, not tapas. These incredible batteries of delicious, delicious things, generally located near one another so you can easily and very pleasurably go out for what's called a poteo, a bar crawl, grazing for the specialties of each place.
Buenas. Aquí estamos. Muy buenas. I would like to start with a little bit of beer. What do you think?
Yeah.
Not too much because we are going to other place, Welcome. Chin chin. Gabriela?
Gabriella Ranelli has worked closely with both Arzaks for years and is considered a leading authority on the Basque culinary scene.
You have to move from place to place because the important thing is you have different atmospheres, you have different flavor profiles. People here really like the classics. You know, people go after exactly what they're looking for.
Fried quail egg, blood sausage, and peppers.
This is like a whole breakfast on a piece of bread.
Wait a minute. What's that?
Sea urchin, you want to try some?
Sea urchin with onion and kava.
You are good in eating pinchos, But it's so difficult to stop, no?
Yeah.
Walking anywhere in San Sebastián with Juan-Marie Arzak is like walking through Chicago with Michael Jordan or Washington, D.C. with George Washington. He's the godfather, universally beloved and respected.
You're like Elvis.
Come on, that one.
Like Elvis Presley, huh? Why do the Basque, unique among their neighbors, obsessively insist on such high-quality ingredients for everything?
Siempre las temporadas, las sesiones, o sea, siempre el producto de aquí.
People have a passion for food here.
Why here?
No se sabe. I don't know.
It's always been this way.
Until about 80 years ago, there wasn't a lot of this stuff written down.
No había libros escritos en euskera, nada. Todo era de voz a oído.
Right in here.
Okay. Yeah, I figured we're not walking by here.
Ganbara, my favorite place. I come here every time like a heat-seeking missile.
This is where you'll find Juan Marian every Sunday.
This is the first place anyone ever brought me in San Sebastián, yes. Iberico ham with mushrooms are amazing. Crab tartlets, extraordinary. Oh, man. But this, the house specialty, what they're most famous for, is the be-all and end-all for me. Seared wild mushrooms and foie gras with a raw egg yolk gently draped over the top to sizzle and commingle with the hot fungi.
This plate, what can you do to make it better?
No, it's
Leave
impossible.
like that.
It's perfect. There's no improving this dish.
No. Now, nobody talks, only we eat.
Right,
eh?
total silence.
We are in the Basque Country, in a place called Pasaya, near San Sebastián. This was the main Basque port in the Middle Age. The Basque ships in different times, they were the top of the maritime technology. And because of that, they could face the big challenge of the ocean. This is a very old tradition. You see, we have a very old language, we have a very old culture, and that culture has been always looking at the sea.
According to my Basque friends, the Basque discovered America and didn't tell anyone.
That's right.
And who would they tell anyone?
Well, they didn't want to attract the attention of other fishermen. That's the reason. So, you see, the maritime official history is being written by kings that wanted to claim something, you know, like, okay, this is mine. This is mine. I want everybody to know that. Fishermen, they did the opposite thing. So that's why nowadays archaeologists are finding evidences of our past, and that's very important for us.
Xavier Agote is a shipwright and founder of the Basque Maritime Heritage Museum, where he works to preserve and promote the proud history of Basque exploration of the sea.
When I was a kid, I used to go to San Sebastián port and start fishing there. I remember the fishing boats coming in and out every day, wooden boats, fantastic. When I grew older, I witnessed how all the traditional wooden boats that I love so much were being replaced by fiberglass boats. So when I was 18, I decided to become a boat builder. So for me, it was one of the most enriching experiences of my life. We created Albaola like 20 years ago because nobody knew about the Basque and the relationship with the sea. And at the moment, we are building a dream of my life coming true, which is a 16th century Basque whaling galleon. My hope is that through this project, the Basque people will know more about our maritime history. They will be proud of their ancestors. We decided to build this ship. I mean, nobody asked us.
This used to be the center of the world for boat building. Bad times for the Spanish Navy was good times for the Basque, because if a lot of ships are sinking, that means more work here.
The Basque were the first whalers, industrial whalers, in a time in which the Basque were the only people hunting whales industrially.
How many guys?
In a classic rowing boat, 7 people.
Okay, 7 people, guy out on front, the strongest guy with a harpoon.
That's right.
Whole lot of rope.
200 meters rope.
How big is the boat?
8 meters.
8 meters. If the ropes get too wet, you sink. If you fall overboard, you die.
You die.
If the boat capsizes,
everybody dies.
Right.
You have to tow that whale to the land, rowing. A 60-ton whale.
60 tons.
60 tons, metric. You know, it's like big.
So what happens if everything goes well?
Well, you become very rich.
This place is the famous El Cano in the seaside village of Guetaria, a place known and loved by chefs all over the world for what they call their Paleolithic cooking, the straight-up application of fire and a very few ingredients to make, well, magic of a kind. Rock prawn. The head and body are cooked separately. The body is served nearly raw, what they call semi-ceviche, while the heads are grilled.
Oh,
That's nice. This is gonna be good.
that's very nice.
Squid served the Paleo way, grilled with an onion green pepper sauce.
Wow, look at this.
Excellent.
Look at that, he puts the tentacles
yeah.
inside, nice.
And cocochas, about as bone-deep, old-school, fundamentally Basque an ingredient or a passion as there is. The jowls are chins of hake, cooked pil-pil style in olive oil and swirled constantly to emulsify the oil with the fish's natural gelatin.
What we like is the quality of the product. We like to have everything alive in our mouth.
Oh, these are the cocochas?
Yeah, but this
Beautiful.
is good food.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to talk about cod, because the Basque are not getting to America or Newfoundland without salt fish, right? If you didn't have protein that lasted, you could not project, you could not explore, and you could not project military power.
Absolutely. In the early times, something we know is that the Basques were the only ones drying the cod. Sea salt, we lack of it. And so we were forced to dry it. And dry cod, you could preserve it for years.
But it's this dish that brings passionate eaters to El Cano from all across the world. The turbo, grilled,
Look at that. That is beautiful.
perfectly over coals, and then portioned out expertly by owner Aitor Arregui, so as to highlight each and every unique bit and its special characteristics.
You see all the white points?
Yeah.
This is the protein of the fish. And if it's good eat, we can make it like a mouchon.
The light gelatinous skin with soft and slightly caramelized flesh.
Wow.
The fat, unctuous belly.
He's finding every single secret of the fish.
The bones, tiny scraps of the sweetest meat clinging to them.
Thank you.
Crunchy, gelatinous.
One dish, a mosaic of many distinct flavors and textures, all of them epically delicious.
It was like an anatomy lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Es que esta casa a mí me relaja. Y no solamente me relaja, sino es donde mejor estoy del mundo, en mi casa, que le llamo a esta mi casa, porque yo nací aquí. Yo soy la tercera generación de mi familia en esta casa, que la hizo mi abuelo. Y luego está mi hija, que es la cuarta generación. Y hay que darse cuenta que para mí estos muros son muy gordos, los de esta casa, muy gordos, muy gordos, muy gordos. Y además creo que los espíritus de la familia están ahí dentro y me transmiten tranquilidad, me transmiten estar bien, me transmiten, no sé, pues instintos. Yo me divierto muchísimo y para mí además la creatividad para mí es imprescindible para poder seguir adelante en mi vida, porque si tuviese que no tuviese el restaurante, no sé qué sería de mí.
How old is the restaurant?
Since 1897.
1897, starting with great-grandparents.
I feel at home at this table. It is not my first time here by a long shot. I am among friends who feel now like family.
Yo vivía aquí en una habitación que daba a un comedor y que, bueno, pues aquí, porque mi madre hacía muchos pequeños banquetes, todo muy popular, ¿eh? Por porque mi padre se murió cuando yo tenía 8 años. Y soy hijo único. Fui muy mimado por todas las camareras. Entonces yo primero hice, bueno, ayudaba a mi madre y luego ya pues hice un año de arquitectura en Madrid. Había un amigo allí que estaba en la escuela de hostelería y me dijo que era muy sencillo porque eran 3 años. Que los fines de semana podías ir a hacer extras de cocinero por ahí por el mundo, pues viendo. Empecé con Bocuse, Troagro, Chapelle.
So how many years in the restaurant business?
Ahora tienes 74, ¿no?
74, con 23 años ya me quedé aquí. Bueno, estuve con mi madre. Mi madre me dejó el restaurante en herencia porque era hijo único y además me dejó dinerito. Yo he tenido mucha suerte.
In 1976, 12 Basque chefs, under the influence of the recently emerged Nouvelle Cuisine movement in France, formed what later became known as the Gang of 12, committing themselves to both modernizing and protecting the culinary traditions of their culture. Juan-Marie Arzac was at the forefront of that effort. His daughter, Elena, continues to honor both that commitment and that responsibility. The food is innovative, wildly creative, forward-thinking, but always, always Basque. Marinated prawns on lemongrass and mint with beetroot and crunchy krill.
For us, it's the essence of the sea.
Oh, man.
Roast pigeon with mastic and potato.
And this pigeon is really very tender, you will see.
I love it.
Hay dos cosas importantes en nuestra cocina. La materia prima, que siempre es local, y luego los ingredientes.
Grilled hake jowls with teff seeds and fresh almonds, served in a bamboo leaf.
La materia prima ya te digo que es de aquí, pero los ingredientes pueden ser de todo el mundo. Tienen que gustar a nuestra cultura.
Grilled monkfish with a pecan paste and hieroglyphics of pumpkin and sweet pea.
Was it always like this? I mean, his mother, his grandmother, was it always a menu that changed every day? What did you have to have on the menu?
Por la cocina tradicional.
Por ejemplo, ¿qué plato?
Gambas de Huelva, luego merluza al horno, y luego luego dar solomillo o pollo. Porque lo bueno que tiene la cocina vasca, es que es muy general de gusto.
White tuna with green melon and a jackfruit sauce.
Yo tengo el paladar de la cocina de aquí. Con eso puedo hacer, pues no sé, puedo hacer todo lo moderno que quieras, creatividad, pero siempre con nuestro gusto. Entonces, porque hay que tener en cuenta, y ahora cuando hacemos los platos nuevos, que hacemos unos 50 al año, siempre tenemos que tener en cuenta ese paladar.
Squid with walnut ginger paste, psyllium sauce, and black tomato.
So you ever going to take off the chef jacket? What is his plan?
¿Qué es tu plan para más tarde?
Yo nada, yo San Sebastián.
I knew he was going to say this.
Y morirme en esta mesa.
He would like to die at this table.
I like.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Pronto no. No, hoy no.
Si yo es donde mejor estoy, aquí, en el restaurante.
I first came here in, I think, 2001, 15 years ago. You know, my father died very young. But look, I'd like him to know that since the first time I came here, I feel like he's looked after me like a father. He's been a loyal and good friend and a supporter, and I want him to know I appreciate it.
Quiere que sepas que desde 2001, cuando vino la primera vez, tú le has cuidado como un padre.
Como si fuese su padre, yo. Como si yo fuese su padre.
I mean, he's only 14 years older than me, but...
Solo le llevas 14 años, pero...
Not too much, eh?
No, could be my older brother.
El hermano mayor.
Yes, this.
Better.
It's better. I am the big brother.
Yes, big brother.
No, the father is okay.
But thank you
Thank you. Venga.
for everything. It seems sometimes, maybe even all the time, like you can wander into just anywhere in San Sebastián and find fantastic things to eat. Casa Urola in the Old Town does not outwardly look like a place where you're going to find this. Seared mushrooms with egg yolk and pine nuts. Potato sauce?
Yes, and duck sauce.
Beautiful. Wow, look at that. Grilled tuna with marmitaco sauce, a reference to a classic fisherman's stew. Peas and a consommé of Iberico ham. Oh, pretty. The food is so good in this town. I mean, it's really outrageous.
Yes,
I mean, you
yes.
walk by this place, you don't expect this. Olatz Gonzalez Abrisqueta is a professor of social anthropology and a documentary filmmaker. Whoa, look at that.
It's the squeeze with white bean cream.
Wow. I know that this is the end of squid season.
Yeah.
Everybody says this. I mean, everybody knows.
Yeah.
The Basque obsession or insistence on really, really good ingredients. The fish has to be in season. It has to be incredibly fresh. It always has to be the best of everything.
I mean, the Basque are very obsessive with qualities. For example, as you know, I did a thesis in the Basque pelota.
Pelota, if you didn't know, is the most popular sport in Basque culture. Its origins go back to the Middle Ages. The Basque are as obsessive about this pastime as they are about food.
Most of male conversation in Basque Country are about things and about qualities of things. And they pass days and days in bouncing the balls for the match. And they need to know which one is the best for the match and how it behaves. So the obsession, and I think a male obsession with quality, is also something which happens in the sport, just like with the food.
Basque language and culture exists on both sides of a border. Unsurprising, as they predate both countries. This may be France, but it's still Pays Basque.
Here we're in the French Basque Country. The Basque Country is divided by a frontier, but we're talking about the same culture in the French Basque Country and the Spanish Basque Country.
Is there a difference between the French and the Spanish side?
Well, on the Spanish side, it was the dictator of Franco, and there it was forbidden to speak in Basque. On the French side, it's true that there was a little less pressure about talking Basque, but because there are a lot of people who are coming from Paris, from big towns for retirement, we're losing the Basque language.
Do we drink Spanish wine? Do we drink French wine? We drink French wine.
French wine.
Okay, good.
We're in the town of Ahetz at La Ferme Ostalapia. Mireille Gert was born in Spanish Basque Country, but raised in France.
We've got a very good quality of life here. The sea, the mountain, the sun.
And the food.
And the food.
Things are different here. The relationship between Basque and French cultures has always been more graceful and less contentious, and you can see it and feel it and taste it at the table. Ventrèche de thon, or tuna belly with tomato carpaccio. Pigeon, roasted and then flambéed, served with a terrine or pâté of the same bird.
On this side of the border, are the chefs as creative or more traditional?
They're more influenced by the French cuisine, which is more complex. On the other side, we simplify. Here, it's a little bit more complex.
food so good?
Because we like eating. That's the main point. Why are we going to use things which are in the freezer? You're going to try to do it always fresh, very simple, but with very good things. I would say that's what describes the Basque cook. It's really simple, but fresh.
Sozietateak garrantzi handia daka kulturan, azkenean kulturaren parte da. Restaurante baten antzekoa. Hemen jendea lagunak biltzen gera, nahi degunean, adiskide artean. Eta kanpoko jendeari bai atentzioa deitzen dio, sozietate ezberdinak daude. Eta nik oraintekan gogoratzen da nire aitona nola 80 urte baino gehiagokin etortzen zan onera. Eta lagunekin ardo botila bat ireki eta txorizo pixkatekin, bereekin hitz batzuk egin eta disfrutatu momentu horretaz. Guztiak lagunak era, hemen, gaude ekonomi aldetikan eta politika aldetikan, maila desberdinetako jendea eta guztiak hemen berdinak gara. Bai txiroena eta bai azkenean aberatsena berdinak gara, pertsonak gara eta hortan hori da hemengo funtsa.
There is no better city for food than this one. You know, look, it's going to be a problem because you're going to have like millions and millions of tourists coming here to eat, you know, every year more.
I think now we are being discovered, not only by foreigners, by Spanish people.
Yeah. This is what I heard.
The only people from Spain that came here all the time were people from Barcelona.
Catalonia, of course.
Catalonia, absolutely. And some people from Madrid, some people.
So-called bro food, in fact, predates the advent of the Kobe slider or donkey sauce, and probably even the high five. Chocos are private and historically all-male gastronomical societies, though that gender rule has changed with the times. It is still strictly Basque and strictly members only.
So, was everybody born here? You're from San Sebastián?
San Sebastián.
Well, everybody.
We are very lucky that we are just here, surrounded by the sea, the mountains, the green mountains. So, in just 1 hour distance, you have any kind of fresh product.
We consider food as a part of our culture. I mean, the importance it has in our daily life. I mean,
this is the best example right here.
Yeah. There's one thing that my dad always says: we may not have money to go on holidays or to buy a new car or even to buy new shoes, but food is so important.
So important.
Who cooks rotates between members. Tonight, it's Pablo. The menu: diced raw tuna, grilled prawns with green sauce.
You notice that we don't like herbs or spices at all.
Nothing. We don't.
So the most we use parsley and then
garlic.
Of course, garlic, onion all the way.
Yeah.
Because people have the idea if you add many spices and herbs to something that you're cooking here, you might be suspicious about maybe it's not so fresh.
Not fresh. Yeah.
You want to take this food and put in another country, maybe Moscow, maybe New York. It's impossible to cook in this way, and people don't understand.
Someone I was talking to yesterday had a theory. She said the men talk about the difference between things. The difference between this bicycle and that bicycle. The difference between this bicyclist and that bicyclist. And that this is an innate part of the Basque culture.
I don't think it's exclusively from here. I think this is something that comes from Franco years.
Where's Franco buried, by the way?
Oh, in Madrid. Valle de los Caídos.
In el Valle de los Caídos.
Big gravestone, or they just sort of roll them into a ditch?
It's a huge place.
If you were, I'm not suggesting you do this, but if you were to visit Franco's grave, unzip and take a piss on it, would you be arrested?
Yeah. No, you would be in the news all around the world.
Would that make you popular or unpopular?
Popular.
Popular, yeah.
For the main, fried hake cooked with chicoli and steamed clams.
So what's the best thing about this city for you? I mean, you've lived here your whole lives.
Having so many things so near. I mean, I have France near, I have all the coast near, I have the mountains near, I have very, very good gastronomy.
It's the way of life.
And it's a way of life.
It's the way of life. You are able to keep the very same group of
You can
friends
see it here.
till you are old.
You can see it
Because, yes, that table.
And they're in 40s, and I'm sure they know each other from they are 10 or 5 years old. And they keep on coming here every week and have dinner here every week.
Here. Ipar Amerikako lehen oinarria Euskal arrantzaleek zuten ezarria Gure hizkuntzak ere nundu jatorria Igual itxasondotik gorantzi gorria Itxasoa bezala da Euskal Herria Beti da zarra eta beti da berria
This place, deep in the Echondo Valley, about an hour outside of San Sebastián, is Etxebarri, one of the greatest, most iconoclastic, and most loved by chefs restaurants in the world. It is in every way extraordinary.
Sometimes with chefs, we sit around and we play this game. If you had to die at one restaurant, you know, what would your last meal, what restaurant would you like your last meal at? And they were coming up with restaurants, and I said, well, what about Etxebarri?
Etxebarri.
And they all changed their answer. They said, oh, no, you're right, that place. It's so perfect.
My lunch companion is my old friend, Virginia Irizar. With her father, she runs the Escuela de Cocina Luis Irizar, her father being Luis Irizar, of the original group of 12, and the man who first showed me, well, everything in San Sebastián.
Your dad's first job, I hear, was at the Maria Cristina. Is that true? He started there?
16 years old. His first duty was to keep the white wine ice cold for the chef. Otherwise, they were in trouble.
It's understandable. So what did they do that was different?
They did try to modernize Basque traditional food, make it less heavy, less greasy, that sort of thing.
And this man, Victor Arganzones, is a legend. He is a master of what looks austere and simple, but is in fact, in an almost Japanese way, fetishistically perfectionist in his treatment of local ingredients. Victor cooks everything himself, from his own charcoal, made from wood he cuts himself. Chorizo, which he makes from Iberian pork loin, served over a tiny little grill, still smoking and infusing it with scent and flavor.
Well, it was...
Oh, so good.
Grilled razor clams.
So good, so simple.
Beluga caviar, however improbably it sounds, grilled and heaped over almond paste.
Excuse me, I'm gonna have to take a picture of this. I want to make other people feel bad about what they're eating.
Grilled gambas, perfectly cooked prawns.
It's huge.
Yeah.
This is, wow.
Line-caught squid, grilled and served in its own ink.
Beautiful. It's very nice.
And the most delicious King Hell Galician beef chop, grilled, perfectly rested, and ready.
Ooh, look at that. Why are the ingredients so good? I mean, the basic ingredients are always super high quality everywhere. Where does this come from?
I think it's just that we wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, it's as simple as that. Claro, para mí todo ha sido fácil y todo ha sido bonito, que es lo más importante. Yo siempre suelo pensar que hay que estar, claro, si no tienes creatividad, estás como muerto. Hay que pensar como un niño. El día que no pienses, tú vas a una plaza y ves ahí a los niños todos los días, o sea, siempre hacen cosas distintas y siempre están contentos. Y yo, bueno, a mí lo que me gusta es estar siempre ahí, como los niños. Como un niño, que el niño no tiene fronteras. Y no hay que tener fronteras. No, yo no sé si esto es difícil o no, pero para mí, desde luego, no.
In the early 1960s, 3 idealistic young CIA officers arrived in Laos, a sleepy, mountainous country of barely over 2 million people, mostly rice farmers. Their mission? Stop the spread of communism, recruit and train Hill Tribe warriors to fight a shadow war against the North Vietnamese and the Pathet Lao. The war in Laos was secret. The Russians knew about it. The Chinese knew, the Vietnamese, the Laotians certainly knew. The only people who didn't was the American public and Congress.
I took a walk through this beautiful world, felt the cool rain on my shoulder, found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Chỉ tao này là cho hút bò cho một cái sản phẩm mình nó đại cho cá này nó thầu anh nó cho chào tuaแล้ว thì cho dọc bê sang choทหารที่ป้ามันที่ดี
Never actually at war with Laos, at the same time we were fighting in neighboring Vietnam, the United States flew more than 500,000 missions over this tiny Southeast Asian nation, dropping more bombs here than on Germany and Japan and all of World War II combined. This only a part of the largest covert military operation in history, a conflict that became known as the Secret War. There were 3 intelligence officers, key players in this secret war, who, depending on who you talked to, were either greatly loved or greatly feared and despised. Anthony Bourdain, also known as Tony Poe, had an extensive paramilitary background as a former Marine and CIA officer. Bill Lair, a Texan and World War II vet, was an influential CIA case officer. Vint Lawrence was recruited right out of Princeton, even though he was an art history major. They succeeded at first in impeding the flow of communist North Vietnamese arms and troops on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. But by the end, they were arming even children. What happened here, presumably in the cause of freedom, of democratic Western values, resonates still. An estimated 30% of the bombs dropped on Laos failed to detonate. These and other UXOs remain in the ground and continue to take lives and limbs.
Off the plane.
Yes.
What's the first sort of recognizable smell that registers?
Wood smoke, grilling, river as well. You know, it's just like the Mekong. It's like
diesel or whatever the fuel is here, a little bit of that.
Yeah,
yeah. From the first time I heard of Laos, I was hooked and filled with the desire to see the place. Once a storybook kingdom of misty mountains and opium, at one time a protectorate of France, a mysterious landlocked nation bordered by China, Thailand, Cambodia, and as fate would have it, Vietnam.
Best restaurant view ever. All these women butchers.
Chef James Sihabut earned his Michelin star in San Francisco.
This is the first thing I get off the plane. I'm just gonna go find some copiaxin.
He learned to cook from his mother and never looked back until recently.
It's crispy pork, sliced pork.
Blood cake?
Blood cake in it.
Meat broth?
Beef broth, yeah. Oh, it's like steaming hot.
James' family, like many, fled the fighting in Laos or the communist takeover that followed it. Nowadays, things are looking up a bit, and some, like James, are returning.
Oh, man, it's just like so homey. Takes you to a place. Takes me to a place.
What's it like being back, man? I mean, it's only your second time, but what's it like?
Oh, man, it's like home more and more. I totally get it. Like, my mom's like, I want to go back home. That's a common thing. Refugees live in the States for a couple years. Once their children have no careers and families, they come back. My mom's doing that now, but you know, rice farming again. She said, I want to move back to Ubon and have a more relaxed life. I was like, that's hard work. You know,
but she's happy?
But she's happy, super happy. She looks a lot younger now after she moved back.
Less stress, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
This village we call Long Lan.
Rice farming?
Yes, they're doing rice and also growing some vegetable.
Northern Laos, enchantingly beautiful, sparsely populated by remote mountain villages, for centuries home to ethnic minority hill tribes like the Hmong. This is where the CIA recruited, trained, and armed over 100,000 fighters.
They start to build this road since 1983.
Before that,
yeah.
How did you get up and down? Walk? In these same mountains, but on the other side of the conflict, there were people like Mr. Lee, now in his 80s, who fought for the communist Pathet Lao. He is Hmong, and during the Secret War, he fought other Hmong. Oh, fantastic. Wow.
This is chicken.
Chicken.
And this is chicken also, but with blood and some inner heart. Every Hmong family will know this.
Beautiful. He was here when the French were here, yes?
Tức tỏ cá này là lần đầu Phát Kỳ khía cho các màn in cá thản.
Nè, hay là hay sinh sinh nhà tàn con đó thìฝรั่งcho cá.ปี1963อเมริกาจมมองตัวมองบลอตัวบลอđóแล้วเมื่อตอนนั้นเราคิดตัวซื้อสิว่าจะให้ว่าก้อนที่กูจะตกเกี่ยวกับที่ก็ตกเกี่ยวกับแน่
How was he injured?
thành ra do uli trà có họ trồng mỏ
họ ở chỉ trồngวันใดจะยอở chỉ trồng bông
là tôm bông tua trâu vậy à? Là bông đã lâu rồi.
Yêu trâu nói cái
chừng nhau có vậy à?
Cái bông chừng nhau nó là mua chỉ tao nè.
In the end, when the last choppers hurriedly left Vietnam, Laos and many Lao who fought with us were left behind too. What had been a kingdom was now a communist regime. Yeah, the bad guys won. A few who'd been most directly associated with the American effort, unwilling to face rehabilitation camps or worse, never surrendered, and are, all these years later, hiding in hills like these.
Hmong were killing Hmong bitterly for many years. If the same people who were trying to kill him and who he was trying to kill came back now, how would he feel about that?
Chỉ cứ đi nó cho thảo sinh tua thì có chỉ bao giờ cũ giờ có giờ cũ,เพราะว่าจะเขาไปหาเล็บถึงอาจจะเขาก็ตัวจักรละว่าคือว่าตี
Luang Prabang, Laos' ancient capital, is a sleepy city of ornate palaces and temples. They enthusiastically observe Bun Ak Pansa here, a big party marking the end of Buddhist Lent. The whole thing culminates in a few days with a fire lantern festival, the symbolic casting away of your sins. But this morning, the Lao are watching and drinking as others pull at oars and race to the finish line.
Boat festival?
Yeah, boat festival here. But today is a girl racing.
Each boat will be women from the same village.
Yeah, one boat is one village.
For weeks, racing teams have been practicing on the Mekong River, each team sponsored by a local Buddhist monastery.
Eat, drinks, enjoy view, enjoy bird.
How old is this tradition?
It's a long time ago, many generations. We start maybe on 6th century.
Solutions of the problem, I know the next person. To get up on the go, you gotta get up on the get up on the. You're never gonna figure it out, taking advice. Gotta think for yourself, alright?
Uh-oh, what do we do?
Chai.
Lao Lao?
Yes, lao lao. So we do some lao lao. So made by the sticky rice, so
yes,
it tastes good.
That one quite strong. Woo.
This is close. Both of you born here?
Yeah, well, I'm the older sister and she's younger.
How has the country changed since you were little kids?
The country changed a lot. We opened the tourism scene, so it's good for the local economy and local people. They can earn money direct from the visitor and tourists.
President Obama was just here a few months ago.
A few months ago.
Yeah, he got offered a lot of help for education and for the
Unexploded ordnance removal. I think $90 million.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Help a lot. This one, the local snack.
Oh, chicken feet. Good.
And buffalo tendon.
Oh, nice. Good. Yeah, we'll try that. Squid.
Dry squid.
Squid. God, I love this. This is delicious.
When we eat and we enjoy food in Laos, we say "sep lai."
Sep lai.
Sep lai.
Your hotel.
My hotel.
How long has it been open?
Well, it's been about 20 years.
I'm having lunch at the Ban Lao Hotel. During the Secret War, it was the offices for USAID, America's foreign aid mission. The building was also a cover for CIA headquarters.
That big building used to belong to USAID.
Can we say...
Sure, USA or CIA, I don't know.
Well, this is what I want to ask. Generally speaking, back in the 60s and 70s,
yeah.
USAID and CIA had a lot of, let's say, overlap.
Mama Vaughn, who I met here on my last trip, is making lunch, an elaborate spread of dishes whose recipes are left over from imperial times.
So, what do we have here?
This is lonesome fish from Mekong. We cook with shallots and garlic and chili and coconut milk and pork.
Crab? River crab?
River crab, yeah. See?
It's good.
It's only in Luang Prabang.
You can eat the shell.
Yes. And fish with pork grill.
All in
banana
leaves.
And a ginger sauce. We eat with pork skin.
Pork skin. And we have to have sticky rice.
Yeah, sticky rice.
Okay, bon appetit.
Food like this. This is an imperial dish, a royal dish. Have these disappeared, these recipes, or are they still here?
They're still here, but you know, Tony, sometimes they do it not the way that not supposed to do it. They change ingredient a lot. My grandma taught me how to do this.
Now, you were born here, yes, in Luang
Yes,
Prabang?
in Luang Prabang, yep.
And Michelle,
I was born in Vientiane.
In Vientiane.
Have you lived here all your life? No.
In France.
In France.
At the age of 11, I went to France to study. I came back in 1971.
Oh, difficult times, 1971, very good.
Yeah, it was still the war.
Mama Vaughn's longtime friend Michelle is a journalist, though what that means in a communist one-party state like Laos is necessarily different than what you and I might define it as.
When I was in Paris, I studied ethnology. When I came here, they said, ethnology can wait. What we need is journalists.
That's why you get your job.
That's how I became a journalist.
American involvement here remains a particularly painful and even taboo subject with the Lao government.
Obama, the United States president, just came here to visit. What do you think it means for Laos?
Well, I think one important thing is the UXO, Unexploded ordnances.
Right.
American B-52s. They came on bombing missions on Laos every day. And after bombing, they have to cross Mekong back and land. But they are not allowed to land with bombs on board. Right. So if they have bombs left, they would drop them at random. That's why we have so many in so many provinces.
What do you think it means, though, that the president came here? This is a small country, only 7 million and change people.
Yeah.
Not a lot of mineral resources.
No, not really.
No oil. If you were a cynical person.
I'm not.
I mean, why do you think he came?
Well, you have China, you have Russia, you have...
You think that maybe we think we need a friend in the neighborhood.
I think everybody needs friends. And,
I thought so. So you were born in a refugee camp?
Yes.
Moved to the States, what age?
2. I don't really remember much. My dad never once talked about the Secret War. Didn't really explain why we had to come to the States. And, we just like, we're here, enjoy it.
Almsgiving is a daily ritual, but this is special.
People always sit down along the street,
right,
wait for the monk coming and give sticky rice. Most people, they keep sticky rice.
Bunak Pansa means the end of months of isolated meditation. Monks celebrate with a once-a-year Halloween-like bonanza, where in addition to the usual sticky rice, all manner of treats are offered.
I was a novice, come from my home village to live in the temple in Luang Prabang. I finished a monk.
In orange robes, the whole bit. Now, do most young men go to the temple to
get education, yes.
It's the only way you get like public education is to become a novice.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, let's
so everybody.
Everybody, yeah. And that's where you learn English.
Yeah.
And you speak French too?
No.
No.
Chef James' friend, Mr. C, lives with his extended family on the outskirts of Luang Prabang.
Looks awesome. So, what do we got here?
Alam is an iconic Lao dish. Woodier mushrooms, dill. The key ingredient is the pepperwood. These wooden blocks, which has like white peppers, star anise.
That infuses the dish. You don't eat it.
It's like you don't eat it. Very herbaceous, peppery, really rich.
Unlike anything I've ever had.
We have 2 types of lap. One's raw, one's cooked.
So it's cooked buffalo, raw buffalo.
Buffalo.
Man, that's really good.
This was kind of improvised. Lit bang. Lit bang translates to fixed blood. So it's buffalo blood. It's a really tricky way to prepare the dish because you want the blood to set. So the way you do it is dilute the blood with water.
Right.
And just pour it over herbs, and that's it. Lao panna cotta.
This is really, really good. You know, the balance is so beautiful.
This meal kind of represents like the Lao table. You always got to have a soup. You always got to have some kind of lob, a stew, some kind of muddled salad, sticky rice, of course, and dip.
And beer lao.
And beer lao.
Let's get some
Yeah, let's get that right. Let's get that.
Somebody. Amia.
Your parents left Laos in what?
81.
81.
And, you know, we migrated to a community of other Laotians. And it was pretty much a community like this. We all share, we bartered.
Scratching out a living. I mean, if you were Laotian and you wanted to make money back then, you were cooking Thai food.
Exactly. You know, my mom worked in Thai restaurants. And
What does your mom think of your Lao cooking?
actually, she's pretty impressed, surprisingly. It's like, the first thing she does when she walks to my kitchen is she goes to a waste bin. And she goes, looks in the trash and goes,
Why are you throwing this out?
yeah, it's, you know, it's just like cilantro stems.
So how many years were you in Alice?
3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
Well, what's the minimum?
Minimum 7 days.
Wow, that's easy.
Easy.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
What's life like at the temple? Sleep on the floor? You sleep in a bed?
Normally, we sleep on the floor. Later, I sleep on bed.
1 meal a day.
1 meal a day?
2.
2.
Breakfast
Oh,
and lunch.
Yes. You get a snack from the almsgiving?
Yes, snack and drink coffee, Ovaltine, in the evening.
Coffee and Ovaltine, did you say?
Yeah.
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Yeah.
This one,
You
no,
got
no,
it.
no.
Here's a cup. Here you go.
Oh, Ovaltine.
For you.
Cheers.
American experience in this part of the world is something that everyone wants to pretend never happened. More bombs dropped here than all of World War II.
This is the gold medal of Laos. They say 1 ton per person. And if they continue to clean the country at that reason, more 600 years to clean.
Ren, come on, Ren, come on, come on, come on.
Oh no, this is the strong
right?
stuff.
Ning for Jordan, good for you. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Waran kon, fek mang ta sok, an kon arasin, an kon fek mang te, fok, très bien. Wow, mang te out.
To see this part of the world. The thick, unmoving air, the smell, past rice paddies, water buffaloes, what feels like another century. Laos is the kind of place that can easily capture your heart and not let you go. It's what you do, right? I mean, if you're thinking of a place to open a bar or a restaurant, you're going to put it by the river.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Nice breeze, nice view.
And you see Lao people, they come here during the afternoon, they have a drink, it's nice.
Perfect.
Perfect.
More than a few people came here for vacation and never went home, like Ben. So how long have you been in Laos?
In Laos, around 15 years. I haven't been back to France for a long time.
When you first came here, what was it like?
It was just open, you know, it was beginning of 2000.
What do you mean by just open?
Before it was very difficult to travel, you know, no? If you have a permit to travel in Luang Prabang,
right,
you can only visit Luang Prabang. You want to go another province, you need to have a special permit to change. And I had a friend, my friend said, no, let's go to Laos. It's more protected, more natural, more authentic. I said, okay, why not? The first time I arrived in Luang Prabang, I was feeling like Indiana Jones, discovering a beautiful city. And the point is I fell in love and I couldn't go back.
What's your typical day here? Like if you're not working, you're on a good day, you know?
A good day, you have a party. You have a party, beer lao, friends, that's for sure. Again, there is nothing special to do. It's just the way of life. Yeah, training.
So how has it changed over the years? I mean, you go to Saigon or Hanoi, money coming in, foreign ownership of everything. That's not happening here?
Yes, I can see there is an acceleration now. Now, when you go to the market and you say, where it is from, they say Thailand, Vietnam, China, and to find local fruits, it's difficult. But if you talk to old people, they will say Bopenyang. We are like the bamboo. We are not trees. So when there is too much wind, voila, we bend and we get up. And Bopenyang. I was a monk for a little bit more than 1 month. In fact, I signed for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, I wanted to stay a little bit. They push a lot the way to not suffer, to learn how to disconnect the important things in life. That's why the people, they drink a lot, they like to enjoy, to share. If you don't share, you are poor. More you give, more you're rich. You have money a lot, you lose your money tomorrow, some people will be upset. When you go up and going down, it's never a good feeling. Bopenyang. As they say, look at the river. It's go up, it's go down, but always in the same way. And at the end, is the end. Voilà. Bopenyang.
Let us assume the best of the intelligence officers who served here, of the pilots and bombardiers who ran missions over Laos. That they were doing their duty as they saw it, that they believed they were serving the interests of their country.
So this a banana plantation?
Yes, banana and lemongrass.
That still leaves us with the unarguable fact that generations later, UXOs, or unexploded ordnances, remain a huge problem.
What's here, cluster bomb mostly? Bombies?
Yes, yes.
เพราะว่าเราเฉลี่ยได้เนาะแต่ว่าเนื้อที่ที่ว่า 66,000 นี่นะที่พวกทีมงานสำรวจพวกเราลงสำรวจนี่นะก็ถือว่าเราพบผ่านมานี่ถือว่าเขาเจ้าพบมันก็ถือว่าเป็น 30 กว่าแล้ว
Organizations like UXO Lao are tasked with cleaning up the mess.
You go with a metal detector, dig them out by hand, no machines, detonate them.
The technology we use nowadays is the same that 20 years ago.
Right.
รายงานความปลอดภัยเข้ามาทราบเร็วเปลี่ยนงานดีมีความปลอดภัยดีเปลี่ยนจุดส่งก็มีความปลอดภัยดีเปลี่ยนด้านนี้แล้วไปต้องที่กำบังในขณะนี้ทีมงานเก็บกู้ร่มเขาจะได้มีการทำลายระเบิดอยู่ที่นี้3 2 1ยิง
Wow. It's a big bang.
Imagine how the children pick it up.
Yeah. Laos is the most heavily bombed country per capita in the history of the world.
Yep.
80 million is the number of cluster bombs that did not detonate. Since the war in Vietnam ended and we left our secret war here behind, 20,000 people, many of whom were not even alive during the conflicts, have been killed or maimed. Now, most of the people who are blown up, who are they? Mostly farmers?
Nowadays, the pictures a little bit changed to the children right now, because the children is look like tennis ball. It's good for playing, for the children to pick up as a toy.
So far, only half of 1% of the country has been cleared.
80 million cluster bombs
Right.
that still left in the country.
Right.
20 years, what we need is 1.4 million.
In
Just
20,
only-
in 20 years.
20 years.
So that's a lot left.
That's a lot. And many people asking me how many years ago. I have no answers.
3
3,
2
2,
1
1.
ยิง
Sau đó tàu cá chỗ tàu ta là có một tàu bỏ nó từ trong mó là do tua nhón và
mà là khởi chấm cho nên là một số bậc cả và nhà lúc học và mấy chục con này tàu điện như vậy để vùng khởi lò lỡ mất tiền tàu điện của tua o tùn tới rồi theo mỗi ít tu mà lấy tu thì pe mà lấy ilu lộc của lũ cô lấy của từ là trâu lên trâu là một khởi tới lúc bầm bì nè trong lúc là chỉ trả lời tới tôi hài họ trả lời tới tôi hài thì cho trong lúc mà từ tua này giờ là hài lúc hàm mô này là tên này chỉ trâu gió thôi nè chỉ tới để làm trong chỉ phụ nữ tuổi thông mong là chúng nó này muốn trong cái tây tuổi chỉ tuổi trong cái chỉ tuổi kia ta sinh đời
chính giải có ba món là đặc biệt là của ta. So this is bamboo soup. This bamboo is very fresh because they just get it from the forest up here. Normally the bamboo is a little bit bitter, but he has to boil it
a long time.
And then he'll take off the water.
Would change the water.
Yeah, change the water and cook it again with chicken or duck.
Right, for flavor.
Yes.
So what year was he born? How old is the gentleman? 1960, so born at the beginning of the war here.
Yeah. Thành đó có thầu có chuyện nhà mình giàu có bỏ là bỏ không bỏ.
Mà ôn chia ta đi.
Chia ta đi.
Chia ta đi. Họ không bỏ trục này chỉ trong này giờ thì thầu mà cho không bỏ là mà nó đau vậy. Nó đau vậy và có chỉ khơi bỏ chế nhà dầu khơi tàu thì mình mới trồng nhiều cùi mình dầu thế lục mình dầu thế, mà lục bỏ lục la kem mu. Đây lục vàng nhân đấy thì lục vàng mà giờ sao sủng cha vậy. Sủng cha thì mới chuột một trâu lại lục vàng cậu hoàn chạy tìm gì có thoát. Mình thì thuộc có tàu mình chụp mình thả tủ sống này thì từ xuống. Chỉ kéo nó cho tiền nó tung thò lại. Thì trâu kia không nó ilu trâu nó trâu nó ilu trâu không nó chỉ nhau không một ta quê một America tha này một America.
While these days the effects of the secret war are receiving more attention, much of how we got here remains off limits. The CIA and their relationship with the Hmong, in part because there are, to this day, insurgents deep in the jungle, is a sensitive subject with the Lao government.
Where did the American doctors come from?
Cứ không món này nhỏ thì tuôn nào.
Rồi là một xe ấy số đó chứ.
Họ từ chỉ trong bia gì cả đấy.
Là một xe ấy số.
So actually, I think this is not a question, I think.
Okay. In a communist one-party state like Laos, it can be dangerous to talk politics.
You tell me whether we can talk about this or not, whether it's a comfortable subject or not. But here on one hand, we have Americans dropping bombs that blow this, at the time, child up.
Yeah.
And then there are American doctors who put him back together. Given that, is he angry?
Có sai thì giờ thì you thằng đó một trò vậy, vì cái là tôi tuổi là tôi trò bồng tới trò you vai you chế nó vậy.
Nó muốn họ nó mà chỉ muốn bàn hạ chỉ mà tăng mà chỉ cố rong xe thì tôi bảo bị sẵn để chẳng hạn chỉ muốn này mỏ để tôi phải chạm nên bị sẵn từ trồng mỏ trồng cho là chỉ kho hủ trồng không bao giờ thì chỉ tua là cũng cho là kho tàu.
I mean, all of the bombing, all of the suffering, all of the death, what did he think it was all for?
Mà mua bạc cục cắt độc nó mà những cú chỉ bao giờ thì